Hello everyone, the Klaus here, and today guys we're gonna review an Exo-Force set again, and still from the bad guy side in fact, but this time released in 2007, and it is called the Iron Condors, and that was one of the two medium mecha released as part of the first wave of 2007. Oh, excuse me, right here. So of course you see the Iron Condor on the front right here, on the back you can see it's full moon, which is very cool, with two other Iron Condor, and on the back you see the Golden City, because of course in 2007 the action takes place in the Golden City. The Lego Exo-Force logo, the Devastator image, which is really cool, kind of hidden between some metal panel right here. Also on the side you can see a little banner, you can see the Devastator side and also the Iron Condor, Iron Condor pictures. And I think that's quite all. So this time there is no, in fact the box does not open, you can see it's really a normal box. And also you can notice that there is still a shiny, which is quite different from the Exo-Force first box, 2006 boxes, excuse me, is that it's all shiny, which is in fact really eye-catching on the shelves. But well, was eye-catching because it's no more in the shelves in the shop right now, of course. And that's all. So you got one pictures of the Devastator again, and on the back of the box you got a diorama, a landscape with all the wave 1 sets, excuse me for the big shiny light, so all the wave 1 sets, excuse me, some comic strip we're gonna set later, and there the gimmick of the set in fact, and we're gonna again see that later on. So that's all for the box. Not as complex and as cool as the 2006 boxes, but well, still quite interesting with the shiny part, and well, this picture is really cool. In fact, I really think that's it's an interesting and beautiful pictures with the three Iron Condors and stuff like that. So here I go for the instruction booklet. Well, nothing really to say. Yes, this time in 7 you will see that the stickers are put during the building and not at the end, in fact, which is quite cool in fact, because you do not have to put all the stickers at the end of the building, but throughout the building, which is really interesting, which is really well easy, I have to say, and not as boring as it was in 2006. And here we go with little yes, part list here, and here you got the comic strip, which is quite cool because it's on 4 pages. So you got you don't have the name, but you have Takashi, which is guarding some well, the Golden City, I have to guess. Here you got some the Mecha Spider of the Square firing on him, is activating his code break right here, which is in fact unleashed his weapon, I have to say, and well destroy the launcher of the spider guy, yes. But then the Iron Condors goes and well show up and destroy one part of the mecha, and there you got Ikaru, excuse me, which is showing up this time, fighting his way, and he's trying to stop the Iron Condor, but as you can see, it just destroys the missile launchers and not the claws, which takes in fact the code bricks and fly away. And here you go, which is in fact quite interesting because for the first time I think the evil guy win, but I think maybe there is a follow-up to the set of comics, which is really cool. As you can see, a little ambush attack by Knight, which is really well, it's quite interesting, I think. Yeah, it shows you how to draw Takeshi for all the young drawers, and well, some ads and the little the little landscape. So very interesting comics in there. And that's all for the little extras of the set. Now we're gonna see the set itself. But first of all, the little Devastator, which is well the same in fact. So it's some say that in fact in some of the set we've got a Devastator with some trans red fade, kind of like the Thunder Fury one. And on some of the sets you've just got all silver Devastator, and this is what I got, an all silver one. So this was quite well in 2006 in fact, but in 2007 they were more frequent in fact, and they were in more sets. So here you go, again for those who do not know, the arm can turn all the way. The same goes for the hands, and the legs stops at this point. And this time you got eyes, which are made with a little technique axle of 2. And there you are. So quite cool again. And now the set, the most interesting part, the Iron Condor itself. So as you can see the color, well, as you can see now. As you can see now, the color scheme is black, yellow, and dark gray. So the yellow is the old yellow. It's not kit orange for Bionicle fans. Yeah, so of course I really like this color scheme of black and yellow personally. So yeah, and I think we're gonna talk about the how it's built right now. So this mech have an articulation of the pelvis point, and I think that's the third one I've shown you. But again, not all Exo-Force mechs got this articulation right here. And we're going to talk about the lower part, so the legs, of course, first. So here goes the pelvis part. Of course, the articulation, how it works for those who have not seen my previous review, it's really simple, because you just have to put this axle of 3 plus a studs on the top, then link that to the pinhole right here, put this brake, and then link all of this to make a solid build, in fact, with some plates. And here you go, you have the articulation. Now, let's move on. So I just got a car parts, which it's very simple, in fact. And here it's quite more interesting because, of course, you have your usual slot brick part, which are used for all the bots make. But on this time, you can see you got some plates, and behind this plate, you got a little reactor right here, which is really cool in yellow, and here are little wings which can move. So really nice details, and I think that's really changed everything, in fact, because in comparison to some other mechs, it really makes the legs bulkier and more interesting, just because of the little reactors and the little wings, and it really makes him a flying mech, because as you can see, it's really got big wings, and it's really it replaces the other mechs from the 6, which got a reactor in his back. Don't remember his name, excuse me. And now we're gonna move on to the feet, which again are made of slab bricks, but as you can see, this time it's again really bulkier than, for example, the ton of fury I've shown you earlier, yesterday, and again it's really look cool for me. Really simple, again, really straightforward build, but really look pretty decent, I have to say. Excuse me. And that's quite all. Of course, we'll talk about the articulation later, but it's quite the same as all the Exo-Force mecha. And now for the cockpit part, which is really simple, in fact. Not to be insulting or anything, but just it's simple. So as you can see, you have it's mostly technique bricks, in fact, and 2 little laser with little antenna on this side, and that's quite all. I'm gonna link that here. And here you got your cockpit. Nothing really to see here. Now we're going to talk about the upper part, which is more interesting than the cockpit part, hopefully. Here you are. So this time, of course, in 26 there is no lighter bricks, so there is no need to make a special frame to hold it into. So like for example, the ton of fury again, and other 26 mecha. So this time it's quite again it's more straightforward. We're gonna say why. So we're gonna put this brick with an axle hole in there, which will be useful, of course, to link the bottom part. On top of that, we're gonna link some plates, and on this plate we're gonna link this brick Bionicle parts. So this means there is some studs on there, but also some connectors on the other side. So we're gonna in fact link 4 of them: 2 for the legs, 2 for the arms, right here, and 2 for the wings. Here how it looks on the back. Very simple, as you can see, as I said earlier, just this axle hole brick, some plate right here, and then you got your brick with connector. Your brick with connector parts. Very simple. On this, excuse me. Also notice a little rocket right here, which is asymmetrical because you don't find another one on this side. And then we're gonna put, because it's really a plane right here, we're gonna put 2 slope paths again with some transfer cone. Also notice that there is really less stickers than in 2006, I think. The code break right here. And that's quite all for the main body frame. Now for the arms, again we're gonna use this ball joint brakes parts here and just color them with some plate. Simple. More interesting is that on this end we've got some articulated fingers. So again we're gonna begin more with some slope brakes again, using all the bad guys make, and then some little claws which are made with the bot's arm. Nothing really new here because the articulated fingers were first released in the 2006 makes, in fact with the Supernova first, and then the blue make from the Sci-Fi Fortress. So there you go, and of course it can close up, but it's part of articulation, so we're going to set later. And on the other arm, it's even simpler, in fact, because we're just going to use a bionicle. It's not that they're going to try to use a system parts, it's connector parts from bionicle, but first appear in the slicer set. And then a rocket launcher, which classical, works pretty well. Lego really like to put them in every of their action set, I have to say, because well, it has the playability, even if it have a less construction interest, I have to say. Less interesting in the construction department. And now we're gonna see how the wings are made, which is in fact again simple. So we got some RDK neck, and then we're gonna link this RDK neck to big Technic panels right here with some little stickers put in there. And well, it's really simple in fact, because to put the other part of the wings, we're just gonna put this part with an axle hole, then a long axle in there, and then these little parts, and here we go, and Technic panel, a long one, a thin and long one, and that's all. Really simple again, guys. Really simple and straightforward, and here you go, you got your wings. So maybe a little turn around of this upper part. This part right here really adds to the overall design, because it's really make a more interesting, in fact, design. It's not just some plain cockpit, because you can see the cockpit is really poor at first, so well, it really adds to the to this part. And now for the articulation section, part. So first of all, of course, you got the legs, which are, this articulation, so 3 points per articulation, 2 axes per articulation. How it works, simple. Also, you can turn the wings if you want. Then we got the famous pelvis articulation, which really is useful for this model, because it's really a lightweight model, I have to say, because of the upper part and all of this. It's a lightweight model, plus it's supposed to fly. So I really think that this articulation is really, well, it's really interesting in this set. It's really got all of this purpose in this set, because it's light and it's supposed to fly, so you can really make him turn all the way you want when it's flying. So really it's interesting to have an articulation right here, in comparison of some other mech which is not really useful in fact. So pelvis articulation, 360 degrees again. Then you got the arms, which of course are made with some ball joints. So you got 2 ball joint connectors articulation, and of course it can turn in many ways. Really cool and interesting for those who like to pose their model like me, for example. And then you got your little arms right here, which can also turn. So for example, you can kind of close the face, and you can also open the end like that, like he's charging some attack, or I don't know. The same goes for this arm with 2 points of articulation used by ball joint, and of course you got the gimmicks of the rocket launcher, which works just perfectly. And finally, you got the wings, which are put on ball joint at first, or don't really see well. So ball joint right here, you can turn in every way, and then in fact it's just some rotation point here, and the same goes here, which is not really useful, but still. And that's all, so you can still make some interesting pose with the wings, for example. like he's taking some damage. So for example, he's taking a big laser in his face, so you can make him fall back like that, with the wings falling down like this. And that's all, guys, I think, for this Iron Condor set. So I'm gonna put on the devastator in his loosey cockpit, right here. Maybe do some pose. Yeah, I'm gonna try to use the pelvis articulation, open up his hand. And here we go. Like that, excuse me. And now for the sum up of this set. So what's not to like? First, well, the cockpit obviously is really poor in terms of design. Of course it's simple, and the overall design of the set is simple, so it's kind of look well on this model, but still it's not really interesting, not really well made. And you can see it's kind of look bad with the bot, because you can really see that the bot is really all, well, is really standing up, so there is no little interesting cockpit, for example, which hides the legs, like for example a ton of fury with the little mud guard right here. So well, it's really not really look quite cool, I have to say, not really interesting in terms of design. And well, so well, maybe some of you will not really like the simplicity of the model, which cannot be a drawback. And so see, apart from that, I don't really see any drawback, because seriously, I really like this set, because for me, it really has some multiple interesting points. So first of all, is the color scheme, which is really look cool. Yellow, black, dark gray, really mixed well together. Then you got the articulation section, which is really well good again, because you got, of course, the classical articulation on the legs, but it can turn on this part. And you've got ball joint for the arms and the wings, so really look cool. And of course, you got all the overall design, which is really interesting because it's really straightforward. I have said earlier, the construction is straightforward, the building is straightforward because the legs are simple, the upper part is really simple, but I don't know why, but I really like this aspect of building. It's really straightforward, and I really like it. And then you got the overall design, which really reflects this aspect. And well, it just looks simple and well made in my opinion, because you've got the legs, which are quite bulky and interestingly made, with the details which really adds to the overall design. Excuse me. The cockpit also is really, well, it's kind of loosey apart from this sloped part. The two ends are different, which really adds, because you got a short range attack with the claws and a long range one with the rocket launcher, so it's quite interesting in terms of playability. And then you got the wings, really simple, but again, I really like this technical panel parts, and they are really well put together. So, well, you can put wings like that also if you want. So, and they are also really well articulated. So, yes, it's really a good looking model for me. Really simple, but it's really, well, it's simple, but just well made. That's just for me. It's not like it's simple and loosey like this cockpit, because overall then it's really simple but well made. But I think I'm gonna repeat myself tons of times, so I think you have quite understand my point of view on this model. It's really a good looking model and a quite interesting one, so I can really advise you to buy this one, because in terms of playability it's really cool with the rocket launchers or the articulation, and in terms of posability it's really got great pose if you just want to pose him on your shelves. So that's all, guys. I really like this model apart from some little points which are not really as good as the overall model, but still really good. Hope you liked this review, guys. If you have any question, well, I have not answered this review, feel free to ask them. And that's all. So the Iron Condor really a must-have, at least for me, from the 2007 first wave of mechas. And well, here you go. Hope you enjoyed this review, guys, and see you later. Bye bye.